Looks like we got a beautiful day. Tim said we had one rumble, but not to worry about that. So ready to get going. Appreciate Cross Creek putting this on this year and allowing us to come out here and have a good day. So I know everybody's excited about playing golf. I look forward to seeing some of you guys and see if your swing has improved since last year. Giving you an immediate grade upon departure of whatever hole I'm on. But anyway, hopefully y'all have had a good morning so far and had a chance to meet with a lot of the coaches. And I'm just, probably like y'all, just fired up that we got something, to do and talk about other than Wimbledon and the ESPYs and Danica Patrick crashing a car and whatever else that we've been watching for the last few weeks, man. And football is close and it's great to have a new beginning. Last year was a lot of fun, and I'm excited about this football team and seeing how this group is going to emerge. And we got a lot of unknowns on this team, a lot of young talent that's going to have to step up and play really critical roles for us. So that'll probably be the storyline all throughout the season, I would think. So, but other than that, just excited about getting going. And if you guys got a few questions before we get started, take them.
Last year you had Watkins, Stewart kind of step up as true freshmen.
Yep.
With Blanks, and then maybe a few other names be thrown into that kind of prospect area this time. Yeah,
I think that Travis is definitely a guy. He was here this spring and got a lot of first team reps, so he's definitely a candidate to be an impact type freshman. But I think last year it was kind of more the story of the freshmen, and this year I think it's going to be more the sophomores and maybe some redshirt freshmen that I think are going to have to play big roles for us, in particular in the trenches on both sides. I think we don't have any junior defensive linemen, and I think we got 2 junior offensive linemen, Shatley and one of those hadn't played offensive line, but Shatley and Brandon Thomas. So the big thing for us is a lot of freshmen and sophomores that are going to have to step up. And last year they were all a lot of those sophomores were backing up guys, got some good experience. Just like last year, hey, Taj Boyd, how's he going to play? How's he going to perform? Those are questions going into the season. Well, we got the same kind of questions, but at different critical positions, like D tackle, for example, like defensive end. And is Corey Crawford going to step up and play, and meet the challenge that's before him as far as being a key contributor on the team. Vic Beasley, Stephon Anthony, where is he this year as a sophomore? Some of those young receivers that played last year as freshmen that were kind of your typical freshmen now, are they going to step up and secure bigger roles on the team? So that's to me is the big story. The Kaylin Davises, that group. I'm very confident in our veteran guys. We got 11 seniors, we got 13 juniors, and I really feel very confident about those 24 guys. But obviously, we don't need a lot more to step up and play big. So that's going to be the fun thing, I think, as we go throughout the season is seeing that competition, seeing that development. And that's the challenge that we have as coaches is to get them ready.
Having asked Chad about it, I get the sense that he'll have more confidence in Taj, not that he didn't last year, but maybe again give him a little bit more rein now that they've been together for a year and a couple of springs.
Well, there's no question about that. I mean, this time last year, he hadn't done a whole lot, and now he's thrown for a bunch of yards. He's thrown for a lot of touchdowns, but he's also made a lot of mistakes, and he's got film of himself to learn from and to grow from, and there's no greater teacher than experience, in anything that you do. I mean, you can prepare, but, once you've been through some battles, it's just much more meaningful, when you have that real hands-on experience, and it's no different, for him at the quarterback position. So I think that's a no-brainer. I think he'll definitely be more comfortable going into camp, much more confident in the system. He knows the mistakes that he made last year and the things that he's got to do better this year for us to have another great season.
You mentioned last month the same situation determined closer season. Any update on that as far as?
Kind of the same. He's only thing I will say is he's been he's gone above and beyond with the things that has been required of him to this point. And so, you know, and I'm not surprised about that. I mean, this is a young guy that's got some rebuilding to do because he damaged a little bit of trust. And but you know, all you can do is respond. And he's responded very well, and he's doing the things that we've asked him to do. And you know, if he continues to do that, because again, we've still got a little time left here before camp actually starts, and some of the things that we've asked him to do, and if he continues to handle himself like he has, then you know, we'll go ahead and render his punishment and move forward.
Is there a chance he could play against Auburn?
Certainly, there's a chance that you know, anything could happen, but you know, we'll just wait and see, you know, and we'll talk about it further at the right time.
The depth at running back, I would think, if nothing else, you feel comfortable. Yeah, Howard came in, saved the Auburn game last year, or at least made a big contribution. I mean, from a year ahead, you talk about how Taj is more experienced. You feel better because Andre, you know, could get injured.
I definitely feel better. Same thing you just said last year. You know, you're going in, you got one guy that's really played, and that was Ellington, and he's coming off of you know, no spring, no summer, you know, from an injury standpoint. So this year's a whole different deal. I mean, you know, DJ Howard's the leading rusher in the Auburn game. You know, who would have predicted that going into the season last year? You know, we're very confident in DJ and in his development and how he's progressed and separated, his maturity, his focus on football. He's just serious about being a good player, and he's talented. So feel good there. I think Rod McDowell has been one of those guys that has, you know, you wish sometimes it would just come quick for guys, but he's been a work in progress. And I really think that there's a role for him on this team, and I really think he has a chance to help us win. And I think he's ready to do that. I think he's finally physically and mentally ready to take a bigger role on this team. So I'm excited for Rod, because I think he's going to have more opportunity. And then Zach, you know, Zach was a guy we hoped we could redshirt. I don't think that'll be able to happen. You know, it's just hard to get through a season with 3 running backs. And so, you know, we got 4 good ones that we're really happy that Zach was here this spring, because he got a chance to get exposed to our system and just kind of get over that glazed freshman look that they all go through. I think he's had a good summer, and so, you know, he's a very talented young player that I could see fitting in for us as a role player.
From the work that Chad's done in the offseason, going to see the different things he's seen, is there one guy that maybe benefits, that maybe gets some touches out of that, or gets put in some situations? I know Sammy may be in the backfield, but do you see one or maybe 2 guys maybe really benefiting from what he's putting in with that?
Well, I think not as much a guy benefiting. I mean, you know, we went out to Oklahoma State and some of the things that they did with Blackman. I mean, obviously, you know, I don't know how much more we can do with Sammy Watkins. I mean, you know, we put him all over the place last year, but I think that just some things that can help us system-wise is probably going to be the biggest benefit. You know, and some of the things that we studied in the running game, some protection type stuff, some route packages, some of those things, I think is going to be where guys, and as a result, guys will benefit from that. You know, hopefully Andre, you know, has the kind of year that he's capable of having. Some of the things that we're going to do up front in the offensive line, I think, is going to help us in our running game, and just tying the protections, the play actions, all that stuff together, some of the screen stuff. But, you know, a guy that I could see, you know, I mean, I see guys' roles growing. You know, Adam Humphries, Sharon Peak, Martavis Bryant, those are guys that I see emerging. But as far as, you know, overhaul of what we do, I don't think you'll see much to the naked eye.
Timeout. Before Tim Match has a heart attack, switch hats.
Oh, okay. Where is Tim? I had a Clemson hat. And I left that and my socks on the counter.
Purple.
Yeah.
I assume Venables has come as advertised, but is there anything about him that you've learned here that surprises you or you didn't know? Or?
You know, he's an outdoors guy. He loves this region. I mean, he's been whitewater rafting twice, and he's kind of an extreme sports kind of guy, likes doing a lot of that type of stuff. So that he's really just loves this area and all that it has to offer. But from a football standpoint, he's been just what I thought he'd be. You know, ball of intensity, you know, bull in a china shop mentality. You know, got to say whoa. You know, instead of sick 'em, just type of approach every single day. Relentless recruiter, and very very personable with our players. So, you know,